Hello again, everybody. As you can see, this is going to be a very short video. I want to introduce a new tactic that we're going to need to do a different kind of reasoning. So it's very common in a written proof for someone to say, okay, to see our final result, we need to see this intermediate result. Let's take a minute and talk about the intermediate result, and then once we've got it, we'll be able to proceed. A sort of proof within a proof, sort of like Hamlet style. You can do that in Cock 2. There's a tactic for it called assert. Let's see how it works. So here's a different proof of mult 0 plus, right? It's a lemma that we've seen. So 0 plus n times m is the same as n times m. There's different ways to do this proof, right? The way we're going to do it right now is by saying it the way you might explain it to a person. You might say, okay, well, look, that's 0 plus n, that's the same as n, right? And someone will be like, okay, let me think about that. Yeah, of course, right? I remember how plus is defined. And then once you observe that, you say, well, cool, that means we can turn that 0 plus n on the left into just n, and then everything's equal. Right, that intuition I just gave is exactly how this proof is presented. Okay, how does it work? Well, the key rhetorical move we made was like, okay, wait a second, let me talk about something else. I wanna convince you of some intermediate fact, not obviously related to what we're doing. Here, pretty clearly related, but not the same as what we're trying to prove. And once we have that, then I'll be able to move forward. So then we say something like this: assert, and then you give a tactic name. Here, let me give you the schema. Assert, name, colon, prop, period, proof, right? So tactics. Now you don't need these brackets. I think it's really good style to use curly braces for asserts, because then it sort of really nicely demarcates this is the subproof. And it also lets you, if your subproof is complicated, it lets you sort of reset all of your outline nesting, all of your dashes and pluses and stars and so on. So this is the format. So here what we're going to say is like, okay, observe the fact, we'll call it H, that 0 plus n is equal to n. Now let's see what happens. You might think, God, what is wrong with Prof. Greenberg? He just gave us another goal. We were so close. Why is he slowing us down? And I'm sympathetic. You got to spend money to make money, though. So we're going to prove this on the side, and then that's going to make our life easier later on. Okay, so assert creates a new goal that you're going to prove right then. You're going to say, okay, great, fine, I'll do it right now. Sounds good. So that changes our goal. Then we say, okay, let's start proving this new goal. So you open the braces, and then Cox says, okay, great, now I'm in the subproof. Now this is an easy enough spot to be in. So we could simple reflexivity. If you want to see it happen, you can see it happen. I kind of trust Cox to get that right. Okay, once we close the brace, we're back where we were in our proof. But somebody added something to our toolbox. Right? Having done this assertion, we now have it. So you'll notice this is the name that we gave. So if we instead named this, I don't know, Tasha. All right, great. Now we have our hypothesis, Tasha. Not sure why you would name your proof hypothesis off of the first security officer on Star Trek Next Generation, but you do you. Okay, great. So H says 0 plus n equals n. And now we want to use that fact. So the way the intuition went was we explained to the person we were talking to, well, hey, because 0 plus n equals n, we can replace that 0 plus n on the left-hand side there just with n. So rewrite accomplishes that goal for us, and we're done. Okay, that's assert. We're going to use it in a bunch of points forward. If you like assert, feel free to use it as much as you want. If you don't like assert, you can often get away without using it. This proof, we've already proved this without assert, but we know we can do it without it. It's very much up to you. There are definitely times where assert's going to make your life easier, and there are definitely times where assert is just not the way to go. It's going to make your life much harder. How you identify those times is really just the product of experience, so you should do what seems worthwhile to you, explore, have fun. Okay, see you in the next video.